You will never inspire anyone if you only aim to entertain. Social media is overflowing with creators who know how to entertain, like follow the trends, do this, post this, use these hooks and make people scroll in. But here's the truth: entertaining content and impactful content are not the same thing. Entertaining content captures attention, it brings views, it creates, the quick dopamine hit. But impactful content builds trust, transforms lives. It creates a sense of strong community that actually lasts. Both can exist together, but if you actually want to create content that outlives trends and leads people toward growth, whether that's, spiritual, mental, physical or financial, you must focus on impact over your noise. So the question I'm going to ask you is, what foundation are you building your brand upon? Is it sand or rock? As a creator, you hold influence. Like an influencer and a creator influence people. Every video, every caption or post should either feed distraction or fuel transformation. And it's only you that decides which one you do. If your focus is the former, then your brand is built on sand. Trends shift, the algorithm is always changing, people move on. Your content crumbles when storm hits. But if you build on the latter, your foundation is rock solid. That's why Jesus' words in Matthew chapter 7 verse 24 to 25 are so powerful for creators, regardless if you're a follower of Christ or not. It says, "Therefore everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, yet it did not fall, because it had its foundations on what? On the rock." When your content is built on clarity and purpose, rooted in values, and directed towards a genuine transformation, the algorithm and no trend, no person, no being can actually prevent you from actually having the impact that you're called to have. If you look at this little graph here, there are two different graphs. A lot of you guys are on this graph, and because you've increased gradually compared to some of your counterpart creators, you think you're doing better. But the fact is, your impact has gone up drastically all of a sudden because of one video maybe, compared to this one, which is gradually. Then yours stagnates whilst theirs goes down and starts to increase. And the difference between people that are in this region here, in between these points, and the people that are in between these points here, the main difference is that to get from here to here, you're not doing anything different. You're actually expecting to do the same thing and get a different result, which is craziness. For you to get from here to here, the difference is that you are identifying how you're feeding not the distraction, but the necessity within a person to understand how to fuel transformation within the ICP. So when your content is actually built on clarity and purpose and rooted in values and directed towards genuine transformation, the algorithm can't prevent that. And these are the three pillars which we're going to go through. So it's clarity, values, and transformation. But before we get there, defining your purpose of your content is so key. Lots of people always say, "I am an ex-content creator." They say, "I simply just make videos to make you laugh. I make videos that are also based off trends. I post content with no ICP message that is clear and concise." Doing that is what is preventing you from growing. I'm not just talking about getting thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of followers. I mean growing and having actual impact, because your graph might be like this right now, but your graph could actually be a lot like this and be going up if you actually start to take heed to the advice I'm about to give you in these next couple of clips. So the power of transformation through content. Impactful content is not just about laughs, shares or trends. It's about leading people through change. So this can be spiritual, growing closer to Christ. Mental, helping people overcome a certain insecurity or anxiety. Physical, something that is actually helping them understand how to live a healthier lifestyle. Or even financial, helping people understand strategies for stability, wealth creation, or just being able to steward the gifts that they've been blessed with. The discipline of what you don't do is something that so many creators overlook. What you decide not to do is actually more important sometimes than what you choose to do. You do not need to hop on every funny trend. You do not need to copy what everyone else is doing. You do not need to be just copying this word for word because it works. You need to be able to filter opportunities through your identity of your brand. But if the trend doesn't align with you, then what do? You let it pass. Because we have a little scale here, and this is the typical, let's just say this is yourself now. This is you, and this is your competitor. If all you're ever doing is copying the exact same thing they're doing with everything and hopping on all of the things they're doing, and they're not actually an impactful creator, you'll be the same. It'll be a balanced scale. The kind of discipline that you need is to be able to stop doing what you don't need to do. And this is what sets you apart from thousands of creators that are literally just chasing views. And yeah, it's cool to chase views and it goes up and down, but that's not how you build an impactful brand at all. So the three key things to an impactful brand are these exact things which I'm going to say now. First of all, your brand identity. This is who you are, who you stand for. It's literally the DNA of your content. Without a clear identity, your brand is a voice without a message. Ask yourself, what values guide me? What tone do I use? What do I refuse choose to compromise on, and how do I want my audience to actually describe me? The next one. This is the community you're called to serve, also known as your ICP. If you don't know who you're speaking to, your words just scatter to the wind, and they just, they just go everywhere, and it doesn't really lead to anywhere. It just goes everywhere apart from a certain direction. Ask yourself, who is my audience specifically? What struggles do they have? What transformation are they searching for? Who is my audience specifically? Where do they hang out online? When you know your ICP deeply, your content becomes a mirror of the unspoken needs. And it's very simple to do this, but it's not easy. And that's why I have a little, a little book or something that's coming out soon that's going to help people like yourself watching this video to not just entertain people, but impact people. The next part is marketing. This is how you package your identity and message for your ICP. It's the creative execution through your stories, your hooks, your visuals, captions, and everything. Most creators start and end here, but without your brand identity and ICP clarity, marketing becomes like this, a ball which is hollow. And for you to be able to actually have your impact increase over time, and for you to be getting up here, rather than just staying somewhere along this line, what you need to be able to do is identify who your brand is. Identify your brand identity clearly. Understand who your ICP is. Then, only then when you understand those two things, that's when you market towards them. And why does simple mean that it's not easy? It is simple to say, know your identity, know your ICP, market with intention. But living it out requires discipline, strategy, and persistence. That's why I created the Creator Brand Blueprint, a free guide that helps you start entertaining your audience with the right. It shows you how to track, measure, and refine your content so you're not just posting daily, but you're also identifying what works and what does not work. If you want it, just comment the words entertain, as it literally says here, or follow me on Instagram and I'll send it straight over to you, straight to your inbox. Moving from just views to impact is so important because views and likes does not equal impact. Here is the reality. Impact is no longer about views and likes. Anyone can go viral. No one can build a community and only few leave a legacy. Impactful content is about meaning and purpose. What is the meaning, the bigger picture of your content? What is the purpose? Like, why are you here? Who are you called to serve? When your content unifies both, you stop chasing trends and you actually start creating a movement rather than just being another brand out there. You're the brand that helps people achieve X, Y, and Z because you position yourself correctly. The path to growth isn't linear. It's not easy, but it is simple. This is how you can do it in 3 easy steps. Watch the videos I make, begin implementing the steps I share, and then track what changes for you and your audience. Once you start to do these things, I can guarantee you that your brand is going to align with your identity effectively and your ICP and your marketing. Then you'll be able to see results more than just views, because views doesn't equate to anything more than just a metric which we always chase. Just chasing views is not how you build an impactful brand at all. Creating impactful content means choosing rock over sand, purpose over trends, and transformation over distraction. You are not here just to entertain, you're here to build, you're here to serve, you're here to impact, and as always, God bless and peace.